Shalom, shalom. HALALYAM, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, QADASH. Brother Chazon Gabar coming at you from the Prophets in Babylon camp here in Tampa, Florida. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone of teaching rule well. Peace and salutations be to the hopeful elect. We're going to be getting in on the lesson today, going in on this article, but this lesson is going to be titled The Waster to Destroy. Going in on the nuclear missiles, man. And I got an article that just actually came in today, literally an hour ago. It says, UN chief warns world is one step from nuclear annihilation. All right, and this is spiritual because the scriptures, talks about, in and out of the scriptures, it talks about nuclear annihilation, man. And nuclear annihilation refers to what? Nuclear missiles, man. Okay, so it says the United Nations chief warned Monday that humanity is just one misunderstanding, one miscalculation away from nuclear annihilation, citing the war in Ukraine, nuclear threats in Asia and the Middle East, and many other factors. Secretary General Antonio Guterres gave the dire warning at the opening of the long-delayed high-level meeting to review the landmark 50-year-old treaty aimed at preventing the spread of nuclear weapons and eventually achieving a nuclear-free world. So that's not going to happen, man. All right, the scripture talks about how the Lord created these nuclear weapons so that he can destroy Babylon and he can, burn up some of these other nations as well, man. This is a major prophecy that must take place. So these people aren't going to be able to take these nuclear weapons out of the earth, man. They made them for a reason. It's not that they just got up and started making these things. The Lord put the spirit on them to make these things, man. And I'm going to grab that as well. In the book of Isaiah chapter 15. The book of Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. Okay, so the Lord created them and put the spirit on them to do these things, man. And that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And the instrument for his work is what? These nuclear missiles. And I have created the waster to destroy, and the nuclear missiles were created by the Lord, man. So it's not something that you can just get up out of the earth. You're going to have to use them because the Lord going to put the spirit on you to use them, man. It says, going back to the first paragraph, citing the war in Ukraine, nuclear threats in Asia and the Middle East, and many other factors. So you got these people, these nations, threatening each other, man. They're threatening themselves with nuclear missiles, man. Babylon is in the mix as well. The land that we stand on is in the mix. Babylon the great whore, man. The whore that sitteth upon many waters. That's Babylon, which is America. Okay, America's been in the midst of those threats, man. And recently is when these nuclear missiles came out. So recently, is when the threats started coming out, man. These guys started coming up with all these missiles, and now Russia's arming these little nations. That's why the scripture says, let the weak say I am strong, because these little nations are now getting armed with nuclear missiles, man. Just to be able to point it at America. And who you think's arming these little nations with missiles? The Lord is. It's the spirit of the Lord arming these little nations with nuclear missiles, man. This is not happening for no reason. There's a great big plot, a great big plan getting set up as we speak. As we go about our day-to-day lives, the Lord is setting the stage for his son, YAHAWASHI, to return, man. Everything's getting decked out, decorated. So the Lord is decorating everything by giving these little nations nuclear missiles. And everybody's stacking up on nuclear weapons and getting ready to aim it at Babylon, man. The prophecies are running rampant in the earth as we speak, man. Everything's coming at once, man. But the topic today was nuclear missiles, and it's probably because this article came out literally today, an hour ago, when I was just thinking about doing a lesson on it. The danger of increasing nuclear threats and the nuclear catastrophe was also raised by the United States, Japan, Germany, the UN, nuclear chief, and many other opening speakers at the meeting to review progress and agree to future steps to implement the nuclear non-proliferation treaty known as the NPT. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said North Korea is preparing to conduct its 7th nuclear test. So these guys are testing nuclear missiles. These guys are testing nuclear weapons, man. And Russia's coming out with a new missile every day, man. You know, I shouldn't say every day, but they're coming out with a nuclear missile in very short periods of times. A new one. You know, they got a new missile now called the Satan II missile. They say 4 of those can wipe out the U.S., man, by sending tsunamis on it, man. You know, these guys mean business, man. These guys are not playing around. Okay, he said he could send 2 Satan II missiles. Slovakia. He said he could send 2. Putin said he would send 2 Satan II missiles to the east coast and to the west coast, and that would, you know, if he hits the coast, that's going to cause tsunamis. It's going to wipe out, you know, one half of America and the other half of America, man. You know, this guy is not playing around, man. This guy has the power to do these things, and the Lord's given that power into his hand. You know, it says U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said North Korea is preparing to conduct its 7th nuclear test. Iran has either been unwilling or unable to accept a deal to return to the 2015 nuclear agreement aimed at reining in its nuclear program, and Russia is engaged in reckless, dangerous nuclear saber-rattling in Ukraine. He cited Russian President Vladimir Putin's warning after his February 24th invasion that any attempt to interfere would lead to consequences you have never seen. Meaning what? He was threatening to nuke people, man. You know, he was aiming it at Babylon. It says, emphasizing that his country is one of the most potent nuclear powers. So listen to that, man. His country is one of the most potent nuclear powers. A lot of these missiles are coming from Russia, man. You know, believe it or not. Let me grab this real quick. This is the book of Jude, chapter 1, verse 7. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire, man. Okay? So they were set forth an example, man. An example to come. And America is likened to be as spiritual Sodom and Egypt, man. So guess what? Its end is to be burned. Its end is to be burned. And how? Not by flamethrower, not by lightnings, but by nuclear missiles and chariot beams, man. Alright. Grab this one. Book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 13. And the stars of heaven fell into the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken with a mighty wind. So that's talking about nuclear missiles, man. You know, this thing is prophesied to happen. He said he beheld it, meaning what? He saw it in a vision, you know. This one's good too, pertaining to Russia shooting nuclear missiles off all the way over here to the west side. This book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 16. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. All right. That mighty archer, man, it's going to be those silos. Now, there's a scripture that specifically goes into those silos and those nuclear missiles. Let me grab that. That's in Esdras as well. This one's a good one, but not the one I'm looking for. Here it is right here. So this is the book of... Second Esdras, chapter 16, verse 13. For strong is this, so 3 verses before. For strong is this right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the worlds. So into the ends of the world, man, these arrows are going to be shot to, you know, each end of the world, which are the nuclear missiles, man. You know, strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. That's the silos, man. you know. And these nuclear missiles are going to be, hey, these nuclear missiles are going to be the end of this time. All right. Scripture talks about Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. These nuclear missiles is what's going to end Esau's rulership. And it's funny because the scripture says the heathen are caught in the net. The heathen's foot is caught in the net which they made, you know. So the missiles that they invented, they're destroying themselves with it, man. So let me grab this here. Book of Isaiah chapter 9 verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. So war is usually, what's the root word of warrior is war, man. War is usually fought, you know, with ground troops and swords and shields, you know, and it's like hand-to-hand combat, you know, usually. But this war is going to be what? But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. So this war is going to be fought, you know, in the air, man. In the air and in the water, man. They're going to be shooting nuclear missiles throughout the air and even in the water, man. You know, they call them torpedoes. This is a very horrendous time that we're coming into with these missiles. These nuclear missiles are very serious powers, man. You know, and the Lord created them. He called them the wasters. The waster to destroy, man. You know, he also likened it to an army, you know, in the book of Joel. I'm going to grab it, actually, book of Joel, chapter 2. This book of Joel, chapter 2 and verse 2. A day of darkness and of gloominess, meaning, you know, just thick darkness, man. A day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and a strong. There have never been, Salakia, there hath not been ever the like. So there's never been anything like it before, man. This is I'm going to start at verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet of Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord, YAHAWASHI, cometh, for it is nigh at hand. So this is talking about the day of the Lord, man. You know, it says, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and a strong. This is speaking of the nuclear missiles, man. There hath not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it. Because once these nuclear missiles get shot off, there ain't gonna be no more wars after this, man. Because our kingdom's gonna come, man. We're gonna enter into the kingdom. Ain't gonna be no more wars, man. You know. Scripture says something about pruning hooks. I'll grab it real quick before I finish up with that. It says, this is the book of Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 4, and he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks, man. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall any learn, neither shall they learn war anymore. So ain't gonna be no more wars, man. Ain't gonna be no more nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. You know, they're gonna beat their swords into plowshares, man. So hey, we gonna have these niggas in slavery, man. They're gonna be in captivity to us. You know, they're gonna be our captives. You know, they're gonna be working. We gonna put their ass to work. They ain't gonna be fighting no more. We gonna put their ass to work, man. Put their ass right in the field, quick. It says, there hath not been ever the like, neither shall there be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. Okay. It says, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. It says, the land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Because the land gonna look normal before them, man. But after, when them things hit, it's gonna be a desolate wilderness. Because what? They are called the waster. The waster to destroy, man. They're gonna waste this land. It's gonna look nice and green, and it's gonna be filled with greenery, man. But hey, cause what? There ain't gonna be no man left to till the ground. But hey, this place is gonna get destroyed, man. You know, it says, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yeah, and nothing shall escape them. Nothing gonna escape these nuclear missiles, man. It says, yeah, and nothing shall escape them. That means That means it's something serious, man. You know, these nuclear missiles, they don't only hold the power of fire, but they hold an invincible power of radiation, man. An invisible power, of radiation, man. And that radiation is like an invisible fire, man, because it's eating away at your cells from the inside out, man. Start mutating and shit. You know, and that's only on low levels of radiation. But high levels of radiation, you gonna drop dead, man. But it says, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. So they're gonna run like horsemen, like that army that we were just talking about, man. It says, like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains, shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Before their face the people shall be much pained. All faces shall gather blackness, because what? They're gonna see these nuclear missiles, they gonna look shitty, man. They're gonna be afraid, terribly afraid, man. It says, they shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march everyone on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. So, hey, none shall escape them, man. That, you know, even if a man dies now, or say men die in Jacob's trouble, the Lord gonna bring them back to judge them with these nuclear missiles. You know, these nuclear missiles is going to be a serious judgment, because it's a spiritual time, and it's going to be a serious judgment where all eyes shall behold Yahawashi Mashiach, and all them that even pierced him going to be there, man. And the Lord's going to burn their ass, man. He said, I shall leave you there and melt you. You know, 2/3 of our people are going to get melted, man. You know, it says, they shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march everyone on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks, man. That, hey, they ain't gonna be, you know, there ain't gonna be no mess ups or miscalculations with these nuclear missiles, man. They're gonna go straight to their target, get there, and get from A to B, and, you know, do their damn thing, man. You know, because the Lord has set this thing up. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk everyone in his path. They ain't gonna be bumping to each other in the air and blowing up in the air, man. Nah, man, they're gonna hit their targets. They got some, hey, these are pretty much smart missiles. Well, these things outsmart air defense, man. That's what it says here. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. Because what? They are able to get past air defense now. You know? You ever play a game like Call of Duty or whatever? They got something called SAM turrets, which is just, let me look it up, because I know it's an abbreviation for something. But it's called SAM turrets, man. A SAM turret is an unmanned weapon which automatically locks onto any aircraft and fires missiles to destroy them. Yep, so that's what it is, man. SAM, the word SAM stands for surface-to-air missile. Okay, so it targets, and shoots down missiles from above, man. You know, to stop them from hitting. But the scripture just told you here that these things aren't going to have an effect on these missiles. All right? It says, they shall run to and fro in the city, and they shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining, man. So these are all the consequences of the nuclear missiles, man. You know? So, like, give me 1 second. But these are all the repercussions of the nuclear missiles hitting their marks, man. This is what's gonna go down in the day of the Lord. You know? So let me grab this. Actually, let me get back into this article. There's a lot on this article, man. If you want to read this article, you can. I'm not gonna read this whole article, but there's some really good points made in this article that's just showing you prophecies jumping off the pages, man. You know, prophecies standing at the door, knocking on your door, saying, let me in. Where we leave off? We left off up here. It says, Okay, so it says, he cited Russian President Vladimir Putin's warning after its February 24th invasion that any attempt to interfere would lead to consequences you have never seen, emphasizing that his country is one of the most potent nuclear powers. This is contrary to assurances given to Ukraine of its sovereignty and independence when it gave up its Soviet-era nuclear weapons in 1994, Blinken said, and sends the worst possible message to any country thinking it needs nuclear weapons to defend itself and deter aggression. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida said divisions in the world since the last review conference in 2015. And the Lord is setting up these divisions, man, for a good and common purpose, man. What? For those nuclear missiles. For the end of this world and the beginning of Jake. It says, which ended without a consensus document, have become greater, stressing that Russia's threat to use nuclear weapons in the Ukraine war has contributed to worldwide concern that yet another catastrophe by nuclear weapons use is a real possibility. So this thing is going to happen. This thing is prophesied to happen, man. They say, we believe that a nuclear war cannot be won and must never be fought, and we stand for equal and indivisible security for all members of the world community, the Russian leader said. So they believe that it should never be fought, man, but guess what? No matter what they believe, should the unbelief of them, make the faith of YAHAWASHI void, YAHAWASHI forbid. So they can believe what they want to believe. This thing's still going to happen, man. I'm going to close up with a few more scriptures. The book of Malachi, chapter 4, verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord YAHAWASHI of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. So there ain't going to be nothing left of these niggas, man. They're going to be left a desolate wilderness, literally, for all the unclean birds to inhabit. Ain't nobody going to be able to come, live here anymore. Ain't nothing going to grow up from this ground anymore, man. It says, I got this last scripture. I'm going to close up with this. This is the book of 2 Peter chapter 3. And I'll start at verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. You ain't going to expect it. This day is going to come unexpected. Nuclear missiles are going to be in the sky. And that's why you're going to be shitting yourself when you see them, man. Because it's going to be unexpected. In the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought you to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of YAHAWASHI, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat? Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for a new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. So we hastening for this place to be destroyed because we look for a new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness, man. We look for our rulership and our kingdom, man, because this place is overpolluted with wickedness. It's flooded with wickedness and iniquity, man. You walk outside, you see a fucking flamer. You at work, you have to actually talk to these fucking flamers, man. Men that actually think that they're a woman, that really believe deep down they're a woman, that cut off their private parts and, just to try to fashion themselves to be women, wearing makeup and shit and eyeliner and shit, man, they all in your face. You forced to talk to these guys because you're in slavery, man. You're in captivity. This is the shit that we have to be exposed to. This is shit that we have to suffer through, man. So we're looking for a new world, a new heavens, man, which wherein dwelleth righteousness, man, a new earth and new heavens, but I truly hope this lesson was edifying to you. I come out Guathium and loosen in truth and sincerity. Until next time, I say, call HALALYAM La, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Shalom.